Hey, hey! It is day one, the second part of our Stranded Deep Speed Run on PlayStation 4. Just gonna wait for the game to load in. If you remember, we finished day zero by getting to a large island. So the first thing I'm going to have to do at this large island is hunt all of the deadly animals on the island. There's two giant crabs, two poisonous snakes, and one feral, self-reproducing hog, which is probably the most terrifying of the things on the island. Other goals for this island: I need to check the shipwrecks, I need to build an anchor, and I need to find some more potatoes. The first thing we're going to do is hunt the hog, and there he is. Got him with a good spear jab right there. And we're just going to try and track him down. Whenever I fight the hog on these islands, I like to stay on top of the rocks so that he can't attack me. And so I've gotten pretty good at distance throwing. I think that one might have gone just slightly underneath him. The second one definitely hit him. And he's run off to the side. Let's see. Oh, the giant crabs are coming after me. I don't think I saw the one on the right. Oh, no, I didn't. He got me. So get back up on top of the rock. The hog has... I think the hog is probably staying over in that further section now. He's running back up to me. What else? The giant crab is running back to my camp, so that should be pretty easy kill. Just give him a couple jabs with a spear until he goes down. And that is... I thought that was going to be the end of the recording. No, he's going back to sleep. Yep. Baby is back to sleep. Commentary continues. So I think I tried to fight this crab in the same way that I had seen Speedy Deep fight the hostile animals in one of his speed runs. Now there is a possibility that I'm not as good as him. Let's call that a 100% definite and not a possibility. I saw Speedy Deep just kind of standing in front of the animals and jabbing at them, and if you check my health, they destroyed me. Like, those snips with the claws really hurt me. I had to waste an anchovy on that. So not the best start to this island, but it could have been worse. We got the two crabs killed. We just have to get the hog. I think he just got stuck on that tree because of all the spears in his sides. He's gonna take a run for it. We're gonna chase him down there. It's really odd that he didn't just run straight at me and decide to go into a different direction. I'm gonna spear him in the butt and get a second spear that also went right in the butt. So all I have left on the island in this hunt are the two poisonous snakes, and they shouldn't be too much of a problem. Usually they aren't a problem. I think, yeah, that's definitely potatoes. It's just having a hard time uploading the image. There we go. So grab the potatoes. That takes us now to 5 potatoes on day 1. That's amazing. But I still only have 1 gas canister, so hopefully the shipwrecks on this island will get me another gas canister, or at least something useful. I can hear snake. Where was that? I think I got bit by an invisible snake. And I did the most noob thing you could possibly do, which is run away from the snake after he bit me. It's not like he can poison me again. And now I have no idea where it is. I guess that's just the speed run, right? Like, fight or flight, and I panicked and chose flight. I just picked up 3 potatoes there, so now I'm actually at 7 potatoes on day 1, which means I am 1 potato and 1 gas canister short. of setting up the end game. I still have to do the hunt, but that shouldn't take too many problems. I should just, thinking about this now, my guy is poisoned, and in the first video I was talking about how I was not going to get poisoned, and I didn't even take the PP? That's not right. I didn't take the Pippi plan because I assumed that I wouldn't need it. And then I got bit by an invisible snake. Looking, I, looking back through the replay when I watched the video again, I could not see that snake for the life of me. I think it might have been hiding behind a yucca plant, and that's really the only reason I can think of how I got bit by a snake that I didn't see. It probably wasn't invisible. It was probably just behind that Pippi plant. Words are failing me today. Like that snake there, he's really easy to see. He's an attack snake. So I'm going to try and spear him, and he is going to be probably the hardest animal in the game to kill. It's because he's fast and he's small, so it just makes it really hard. There, I finally got a piece of him. Thinking about it now, I didn't even have to run away from the snake. I was already poisoned. I could just sat there and chopped him up in max. Well, at least there goes one of the poisonous snakes. So there should only be one more poisonous snake on the island. Some lava-lavas. If there's no Pippi plant on this island, then the run's dead. There it is. There's a Pippi plant. So we're going to survive another day. How embarrassing would it be if I'm doing a speed run and I die on day one? At least I can take the coconut flask that I've created and use that for the Ajuga and breath boost that I'm going to need for when I fight the Megalodon. So it's not all a complete loss. I really hope that when I go check the shipwrecks on this island that I get some useful stuff. Probably going to have to stay overnight on this island because my character has not slept yet. I think he can stay awake for 72 hours, but I'm not 100% sure on that. What I do know is that if the game tells you that your guy is too sleepy and has to sleep, he will never fall asleep on a raft. So that I guess that could be a hack way trying to stay awake longer if you're just using it for transportation from one island to another island. It could have an adverse effect on his health, but I'm not too sure about that. There's another one of those giant pirate shipwrecks out there with the wooden masts sticking out of the ocean. Again, I'm not going to waste my time looking at that. Risk my life for potentially nothing. I mean, it's not even risking my life. I don't care about that. It's a video game. It's more about risking the run. I think at this point I'm probably only about 50 minutes into the game. If I was speedy deep, I would be done by now. But I don't have console commands. Alright, so we got a couple boxes. One more here to check out. There is a bit of coral. Not coral. There's a bit of clay I noticed there on the right-hand side, so I'm going to have to come back and get that as soon as I have a pickaxe built. I don't think I actually picked up that leather. Got a rod. I'm holding too many items, so we'll drop a rod. Pick up the leather. And again, just a lucky drop there because I'm absolutely going to need that leather to create that pickaxe so I can go mine that clay so I can set up the escape. The grind is almost done. The hunt hasn't began, but the escape is shaping up really well. So if I can just get the hunt to go well, I think I'll be on track for a good ending. Again, I would like to reiterate, that what I think is a good ending will be to finish the game in under 10 days. Under 8 days would be amazing. So what's happening right now? I think I've run out of stamina. I'm just trying to get back over to my area here so that I can put down my supplies, check out the things that I got out of the shipwrecks, build that pickaxe, and then get to the shipwreck. Having that air tank there is a great find. I'll use the air tank for when I fight the Mega. I just noticed there you can see that yellow raft, the yellow life raft from the very beginning of the game actually did follow me back to this island. So maybe if you do lose your boat, you could actually find it on another island. So as I was saying before I got distracted by the shiny yellow object there, the weather is taking a turn for the worse, so that's going to kind of hinder my playthrough for day one. I'm not going to do a boss fight out in the ocean in the rain. I'm just not going to really be able to see out there. Back to chopping down trees. So this is going to be part 2 of the grind. We need to have I need to have spears, and I need to build the anchor for the boat. And then once those things are done, I can go and start doing the hunt. And the first hunt to get is going to be the Great Abaya, which is probably one of the easiest boss fights. I mean, I've formulated all kinds of different strategies to fight bosses, so I guess I'm just going to do whichever one I find to be the easiest. When I first started playing Stranded Deep, my strategy for the bosses was Murder Hole, which was just to make a large boat and have a hole in the middle of the boat where the rudder is. And I found that as long as I stayed in that hole next to the rudder, no bosses could attack me. I could just stay under the water and throw spears all day long and never have to worry about the bosses. So just getting back to the air tank. The air tank is really going to help me with Megalodon because I plan on doing that entire fight underwater and never coming up for air. So I'll take the breath boost and I will hold on to the air tank. And as long as I'm underwater, fighting the Megalodon should be super easy. I guess we'll see how that goes when I get to it. I don't want to count my cards yet because, might not have the cards. Might not have them. Hopefully, at least three of the 5 people who might end up watching this will get one of the references that I throw out and maybe have a bit of a laugh. That could be. I would ask you to comment, but if you look on my YouTube page, I'm not expecting comments. I hope the audio for this is coming out pretty well. I don't really have a microphone, so I am using the built-in microphone on the PlayStation 5 controller to capture all of the audio from the commentary that I'm doing. Hopefully it comes out all right. We'll see. So I have a little bit of sip of coconut right there to stay hydrated. I'm going to go through the crates, try and do some organization. I felt like organizing the crates is something that I really failed at during the speed run, and it's a way that maybe I could save a little bit of time. I just don't think it would save enough meaningful time to really move the speed run further by like a day or two. Thinking about what other ideas could be implemented into a Stranded Deep 2, other than a boss that's a killer whale. It could be cool if there was a mystery in the game like how Grand Theft Auto always gets a lot of hype because of the idea of a mystery. Grand Theft Auto 3, is there really a Sasquatch? Well, no, there wasn't. Grand Theft Auto 4, was there the Rat Man in New York City? Well, no, there wasn't. Grand Theft Auto 5, was there the Mount Chiliad mystery? Well, no. Uh, so what if the developers of Stranded Deep 2 put a mystery boss in the game that had a really low spawn rate? So let's say, for instance, you could come up on an island, a large island, that already has things built and crafted onto it. And the island belongs to a hermit, and I guess what would happen is the longer you spend on the island, the more likely you are to be attacked. I guess at first some of your supplies would go missing, and then randomly, without warning, you would be attacked by this hermit. And maybe the spawn rate could be like around 5%, and he could randomly spawn on any large island. So you could do entire playthroughs and not know that it existed. And it could create this mystery of like, you don't know, there's another guy out there and he's coming for you, but can you believe it without the footage? I guess in this day and age, even if you do have the footage, it could be AI. You never know. Like I saw the video that that one person made of him shooting up he shoots off the flare gun and the ship comes. It looked pretty good. It looked pretty good. Like you could believe it if you didn't play the game. If you didn't know any better, you could certainly believe that was programmed into the game. So maybe almost got poisoned right there. How awful would that have been if I got poisoned twice on the same island? It definitely, I'm pretty sure there's only the one Pippi plant, so it definitely would have ended the speed run right there. So going to collect some fibrous leaves. I'm going to need some lashings to make the anchor. I believe I need 4 lashings, maybe like 3 or 6 stones. We'll just try and collect up as much of that as possible, but I still need to be cautious because there's still a snake somewhere on this island. It's always going to be faster and more convenient to run around the interior of the island than the exterior, but with that snake, it's just safer to move slowly right now. It looks like I'm going to have to stay on this island overnight anyways. So maybe, I don't know, maybe I could hunt some of the smaller pigs, or I could do some other, something else to get my hunting ability up. If I had that second gas can, I could have already started boiling the gas, and that would help progress my time faster, but with only the one gas can, I just can't risk it, and I can't finish the game with one gas can. So, wishful thinking, but not. It's just not going to happen at the moment. When I was running around looking for the Pippi plant to make the antidote, so that I could continue to survive, I think I noticed 2 lava flowers on the island. I wonder what the original purpose of the lava flowers was. You can see right there how cautiously I walked up to that stick. What if that stick turned into a snake? Could have bit me. I think the lava maybe could have had a purpose, like in the game Green Hell, where Green Hell has these like kind of blue mushrooms that grow on the side of trees. And if you eat them, they give your character more energy. They also remove parasites, but the main benefit to them is they give you energy, so you could force your character to stay awake a lot longer than he's supposed to stay awake. It would harm his sanity meter. But I mean, I'm in blue hell right now, so maybe sanity doesn't matter so much. Blue hell is, of course, my conspiracy theory. for Stranded Deep. I know it was originally called Project Castaway before it turned into Stranded Deep. But it kind of reminds me of the TV series Lost. If you didn't watch that TV show over the last, 15 years, Lost is a TV show where I believe a plane crashes and the survivors ended up stranded on an island, and throughout the multiple seasons, I'm going to spoil the ending for you right here. What the characters in the show that are stranded on this island figure out is that they can't actually escape. And they can't escape because they died in the plane crash and they're all in hell. Which seems somewhat reminiscent to what's happening here in Stranded Deep. I have this beautiful world to explore, but you can never leave. It's the Hotel California of video game conspiracy theories. I think that's what I'm trying to get to. Well, D1 is wrapping up, and I'm just trying to go through all of my items, grinding through making the spears that I'm going to need. I still need to make that anchor. And once all of that is completed, I guess it'll be day 2, and I guess on day 2 is going to be our first boss fight, which will be the Great Abaya. And I'm not too worried about that boss fight. There have been times where he has managed to glitch through the boat and bite me, but that's pretty rare. I did mention that Green Hell is one of my other favorite video games, and I did do a speed run of Green Hell. And once I figured out that to complete a speed run of Green Hell, you don't actually have to play the game. You just have to run from ayahuasca site to ayahuasca site. And each time you run to a new ayahuasca site, it'll trigger a cutscene. And once the cutscene is triggered, you'll be given full health, full abilities. So the speed run of that game is literally just a speed run from cutscene to cutscene. And, of course, trying not to be attacked by a jaguar. So it's not very entertaining. And I don't think people would be interested in watching that. I had considered doing any percent speed run or Stranded Deep. I think with an any percent speed run, I would just turn off the hostile animals, but I mean, how boring would that be to watch? Right? There's just no threat. Even when I was bit by that possibly invisible snake, that creates excitement and exhilaration. The unexpected had happened. I had not accounted for it, and then all of a sudden your mind has to race with, how are you going to fix the problem that was just caused? I also see in some of the speedrun categories, there's I think they call it a glitchless speedrun. I don't really know how you define a glitch in a video game. I guess a glitch is when you force the game to do something that it wasn't programmed to do. So I would say that this is a glitchless speedrun. I certainly exploit the game in the boss fights, but I think the difference between a glitch and an exploit is that in a glitch you force the game to do something that it wasn't meant to do. In an exploit, you use the game's programming against itself in a way that perhaps wasn't intended. For instance, when people fight Luska, and they go to the bottom of the chain, and Luska glitches out and just spins around the top. I mean, it's a bit of both. It's a glitch that's not supposed to happen, but it's also an exploit because you're using the programming against itself. So maybe a little bit hard to determine if that should be allowed or not. I've actually never had that work on console, so I don't know if it even works on console. I think I've tried it a couple times, and it didn't go very well for me. I also wonder if there's like sweet spots that you could hit the bosses. Like if if the Megalodon opens up his mouth and I can throw a spear down his throat, like, could that do like maybe 3 or 4 times damage? If I could hit Luska, the giant squid, right in the eye with a spear, maybe that could do more damage? Maybe. I don't know. I like to think of the possibilities of video games and what I would do if I was to make a video game, if I had any say, if I had any input, what kind of creative ideas that I would think of that other people would not think of, and how they could be implemented to be more fun. Sometimes I notice that when I'm, doing what I'm doing right now, which is chopping a log, if I'm chopping a log, I tend to count how many times I'm chopping something. It's just like this OCD that this video game has programmed into me. I don't know why I do it. It's, you're counting the chops of the log, you're counting the strikes of the pickaxe. It's just something that I think this game has just kind of forced me to do over the 400 hours that I've played it. So, looking now, I think I just paused the game here because I believe a DoorDash order just showed up at my front door, and I don't remember what I ordered, but hopefully whatever I ordered is far more delicious than whatever my character is going to be eating, which is anchovies. Well, I guess I also have some beans in a can. Could you cook the beans in the can? I don't know. I'm gonna have to test it. Like, I'm gonna have to do another playthrough of this game where I just test my ridiculous theories of what could and could not happen. And I think I might have to cut the commentary for this episode. My son has woken up and he's playing with one of his toys, which is actually playing a knockoff of a Kirby song. And I loved that game. I had Kirby's Dream Land. He doesn't even know. Do you even know that Kirby's originally white and not pink? Nobody knows. Nobody cares. Maybe it's not real. Maybe it's just a theory. A game theory. No, probably not. That's what actually happened. So right now, I think I'm realizing I don't have enough rocks to actually build the anchor that I need so that I can do the boss fights. So there's a little bit of panic setting in. Did I make a miscalculation on the previous 2 islands, which were just littered with rocks, and I did not take them thinking that I would just, be able to go around an island and find a bunch of rocks? Again, don't remember if I need 3 rocks or if I need 6 rocks. Can't I just collect 10 crabs and throw them into a sack and use that as an anchor? I guess they're not heavy enough. Maybe they'd float away. Oh, this is not looking good at the moment. Run could be dead. Could be dead right here. If I can't find those rocks, this run is dead. Looks like I'm coming up to the end of this video, so hopefully I can keep doing the commentary for another couple minutes, and if anything, you might hear some knockoff Nintendo sounds in the background. There's a rock. There we go. Now we're starting to rock out. There's the yellow life raft even beached itself. So he was like a lost puppy at sea. I think they call those sea lions. And if Stranded Deep 2 was around British Columbia, Canada, there could be, sea lions, walruses. I would also really like to see jellyfish in the game. I don't know if there are jellyfish around British Columbia, but it would be a great addition to the game. I mean, get some jellyfish stings, and maybe that can harm you a little bit. I like those sea urchins in this game, which are so impossible to see in the water. For a long time, when I was getting poisoned in the water, I just assumed that lionfish were swimming behind me, and that was not the case. It was just sea urchins. So looks like I almost have all of the supplies needed to create that sail. Not the sail, I'm sorry. I need to create the anchor. I've only been talking about it for like an hour now and then forgetting what it's called. I just got bit by a little crab there. So we'll get the anchor and then I don't know. I don't know if I should wait until the morning or I should risk another voyage off at sea. I mean, I do want to get to the boss fight nice and early just so that I have good lighting. And it's like, I think I tried to save the game right there, and yep, this is going to be the cutoff for this episode. So I will see you in part 3, and in part 3 we're going to go out, build that anchor, and fight the Great Abibo. And I will hopefully see you then in part 3 of what is surely going to be a historical day for the Stranded Deep community.